curious dream. I followed dear little rabbit down a rabbit hole, only it wasn't an ordinary rabbit and, well, it wasn't an ordinary rabbit hole.
Oh, the stories that were tumbling about in Alice's head!
Tumbling, bubbling, brewing, what?
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the fan carpet.
Hello.
Hello, it's amazing to have you here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well. You were poorly the other week. How are you feeling now?
I was not good. I'm good now, though. Thankfully, fully recovered.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. Yeah. It's a pleasure to speak to you. It really is. So if we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the entertainment industry?
Defining moment. I feel like I was a bit of a late bloomer, if you will, into the industry. I know a lot of people, when they're really little, go to dance classes and things like that, but I never did any of that. And it wasn't until I went and did a little, what's it called, a diploma when I was about 16. And my mum used to take me to see the touring musicals at Sunderland Empire, like every other week. And I was just completely fixated on the stage thinking, I need to do that. I want to do that. And from that moment on, yeah, it's just been at the forefront of my mind.
Awesome. So you sing as well then?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So what can you tell us about Alice in Wonderland and what it was about this unique classic that made you want to be a part of this for your first lead role in a major production?
I think, so everyone knows the story of Alice in Wonderland. And what our fantastic adapter Penny Farrow has done is chosen maybe the most memorable bits and the bits people will talk about from the story and mixed it up with Lewis Carroll, stuck it on the stage, and it really highlights, it's a 1 hour show, it really highlights the punchy best bits of the classic story. And so it's been in Australia for a long time, I think maybe 10 years, something like that. And Nate, the designer and director extraordinaire, he has such a way with creating visually like such a beautiful world, and it's so stunning to look at, from the costumes to the set to the, when Alice is falling down the rabbit hole and how we do that on the stage and how we show that she's growing, and visually it's really yummy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw the production shots of the Australia one, I was like, yes, wow, that looks amazing.
All right, okay, because it's quite a big role to take on for your first one, and essentially having to do it every night.
Yes, so we do, with it being a family show, we actually do 12 shows a week at the moment.
Wow.
Which is a lot. So we've just done a 2-show day today. And we don't perform on evenings. So there's another show that plays on the top of us at the Marylebone Theatre. Gorgeous space. And on Sundays and Fridays, we do 3-show days, which is like, whoa, you feel like you're stuck in this time loop. When you're on stage, you're stuck in this Wonderland bubble. But yeah, it's pretty cool to be playing Alice, of course. And to see my face on the posters is surreal, really surreal.
Yeah, I bet. And it's a surreal story as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what does it mean for you to be a storyteller and tell stories in this way?
What does it mean? It's really fun getting to play all these different lives. I mean, how often do you get to play? I mean, she's 7 years old, Alice, in the classic story. Obviously, I am not 7 years old, but getting to play this character who is so curious and wanting to know things and ask questions and going back into that childlike world is amazing, because then on the next project you work on, you might be playing, someone who's come from a really hard background, or maybe they live somewhere that isn't anything like that. So getting to tell all these different stories is really important. We're getting to see loads of different lives told out, basically.
Absolutely. Do you have any memories from Alice in Wonderland that you'll remember for your career? Because, like I said, when you're doing it, it's essentially a different show each time. isn't it? Because the audience reactions, they're going to be reacting to different things. So, yeah. So yeah. Any memories?
Um, like you say, the show is different every single time we do it. And
Mm,
even when we're on stage, we're all still playing and keeping it fresh. You know, if we're doing a show 3 times a day, we're not just going to deliver it exactly the same way. So it means that if the Hatter, the Mad Hatter, responds in a slightly different way, that will affect me slightly differently. And then I will have my journey, my adventure in the show will be just that bit different that time because of how I'm affected by other characters. And like you say, the audience respond so differently in each performance. But yeah, I mean, oh, we're having the most fun.
yeah. So I guess that's a thrill for you to do that and see what people are going to react to.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, theatre is so important for little ones too. For a lot of
Mm,
them, it's their first ever theatre experience. We're getting little tiny ones in, we're getting babes in arms and all sorts, but we're also getting um, the older people, and they're equally loving it. And it's so nice to have a show that spans across that. It ticks all the little boxes.
absolutely. What you we kind of touched on this a little bit, but what are you hoping audiences take away from Alice in Wonderland when they see it?
I'm hoping that they've experienced escapism. You know, there's so much going on in the world, cost of living crisis, all of that, to just escape to this crazy, surreal place for an hour, to have a laugh and to just be like, wow, and then come out of it again just to be like, oh, I escaped for a little bit. And that's what theatre is, it's escapism, and that's why it's so important to run away for a little bit. And that's what I want them to take away.
Absolutely. So Alice in Wonderland is obviously a literary classic. I remember reading it when I was a child. So what do you feel that your interpretation brings to the character, and have you found any specific challenges?
Um, well, of course, with it being such a well-known story, a lot of people will have their favorite version. So I'm a big fan of the 1999 Alice in Wonderland with Whoopi Goldberg as the Cheshire Cat. It was so specific, and I loved it as a kid. But to not rewatch that and go and watch that performance because that's someone else's performance of Alice and the Disney version of Alice, and it's,
Mm,
you know, yeah, this they might be in the back of my head, but finding my version of Alice has been really, really fun. Challenge wise, um, well, it's maybe not so much of a challenge, but it's been nice to in rehearsals we decided because I'm from the northeast whether to do a northeast Alice or whether to have your kind of RP Alice, and we've opted for RP Alice, but we tried it in rehearsals, um, and it felt true to story to keep her this with this voice, and all of the characters in the show have all kinds of different accents, and it adds to the madness because she's this through line throughout. She's the constant. So to have
mhm.
her kind of have the neutral accent felt the most comfortable, if that made sense. But that was at first challenging. Where do we sit with this? Um, and maybe another thing we found challenging is is the language of the show. We've got a lot of puppets, so visual language. We've got a lot of puppets, which are amazing, and we've got, of course, all the visual effects, and we've got this beautiful piece of material that comes down as a skirt to show Alice growing and finding out what works and what doesn't. And we did so much changing and reblocking things in rehearsals. We only had 2 weeks of rehearsals, and it was full on, but it was a really collaborative process. But of course, that always comes with challenges. But yeah, it was great fun.
Awesome. Awesome. So you've appeared on TV as well, with Vera and How to Be a Person, and the short film Nobody But Nobody. Do you approach the characters differently than when you're on stage?
I think there is some similar things I do, and maybe some different things. Um, I everything starts from inside, you know.
Mhm.
Alice, she's very physical, um, and it's a lot in her body. Everything is not over the top, but very specific movements. And with the TV, bits I've done, I find myself more relating to me. I'm finding bits of me in the characters that I play and what's going on in their mind. I love to do the classic thing of making a Spotify playlist of what my characters might listen to and really getting in that knowledge. When I did Vera, which was amazing, and the character I played, Chloe, she was really into Wicca and all of those kind of like star signs and everything like that. So I decided to sit and just write loads of information down about that to get into her headspace. Um, Whereas for Alice, not knowing what I'm about to meet is her research, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I meet people, or the characters of the caterpillar, the hatter, and it needs to be fresh and new.
Mm.
But yeah, so it's different, but there are similarities there too. If that really answers your question.
Yeah, well, that begs the question, what's on Alice's playlist?
What's on Alice's playlist?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't made a playlist for Alice. I do it for the more of the screen stuff.
Hmm.
But I think I should. There's a lot of songs already out there in the ether that are about Wonderland, but that would be too easy, too on the nose. But yeah, I think she's a big Taylor Swift fan though.
Who isn't at this point? Um, I mean, sold out shows in the Eras tour everywhere she went. So yeah,
She is a hero.
absolutely. Yeah. I recently watched the stage musical version of Frozen on Disney Plus, and I saw Hamilton on there as well. Do you think Alice in Wonderland could get that treatment?
Um, hmm. I think I love having the option to watch those on there, and I have watched them. They're fantastic productions.
Mm.
I think with Alice, so the theatre we're in, it's I think maybe 260-seater, something like that. It's a small venue, it's quite intimate. And I feel like you need to be there to experience the true magic of what we've put together. It's very visual, but we've got the set is so stunning. We've got giant clocks and cards coming over the audience, and there's a lot of audience interaction, which perhaps Frozen and Hamilton, they don't really break that wall. Well, sometimes Hamilton, of course, does has moments, but yeah, I think it's a very different language. So it would be lovely to have a pro shot, don't get me wrong, but I think to be there is a little bit, I say the escapism. You can't sit
Yeah.
in your living room and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Who inspired you in the industry, whether it's on stage or on screen?
Um, when I was training, so I'm trained in musical theatre, but I've tended to go more along the straight acting route. I love it all. But when in training, I was a big fan of Stephanie J. Block, who does a lot on Broadway. I think she is incredible, powerhouse of a woman. She was always a big inspiration. I'm also screen-wise a huge fan of Jodie Comer. I think she's a sensational actress, and she's from the north like me, slightly different area, but yeah, she's brilliant. She's such nuanced performances, and Florence Pugh again, I'm also a big fan of. So I watch a lot of their work.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and Jodie Comer, of course, does stage and screen, and that's ideal, really. That's the dream. So
Absolutely. Yeah, Jodie, I don't know if she does it if she's still there. I think it's Cynthia Erivo now, but she was doing Prima Facie, wasn't she?
it was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's incredible. I think the first, I mean, I've obviously seen Killing Eve, but I think the first time I saw Jodie was in Free Guy.
Yes,
Um,
I watched
I,
that recently.
yeah, I think that's when I saw her first, and yeah, she's just incredible. And her ease in accents is just amazing.
She just slips in and out. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
amazing.
Did you find the accent work an interesting challenge?
I did, yes. It's always fun to do an accent. Um, and there might be the odd word every so often that you can feel is slightly pushing it. Oh, it's nearly a bit northern there, but it is fun. It creates it means you have to do another step up to get into your character. And with a lot of the screen stuff I've done my own accent. So maybe
Mhm.
that's why I find a lot of similarities there because I am doing my own voice, whereas this is a different voice. But I also feel like Alice is quite high in her voice, and doing that with an RP accent is easier than the Northern one. I don't know why. Maybe I sit where it sits vocally. Northern is back here, whereas the RP it's more pingy, more forward.
Cool. Do you have a dream role or genre that you'd like to pursue, whether it's on stage or screen?
Dream role. Good question. I would love to do like a fantasy TV series or something that is completely removed from me. I love special effects makeup and all of that. So I'd love to do something in that world. That would be amazing. Or film, but I think to be a series regular on something would be amazing.
Yeah, because you get longer to sit with a character
Yeah. And
with
you
a
get,
series.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's awesome. Are there any other literary heroes that you'd like to lend your voice to?
In terms of like how I'm Alice now.
Yeah, how you're Alice now, and like, would you like to bring another literary hero to life? Because I mean, she technically is the hero of that story.
Yes, yes. I'm a big when I was little, and well still, I'm a big Disney fan.
Hmm.
And I would love to have a voice of a Disney character one day, whether that be live action or animation. Um, and of course, all of those already exist. How do I word this? I'd love to originate something in Disney.
Okay.
That'd be amazing. Um, I'm trying to think book wise, what I've read recently. And I've got a big pile of books behind me, and I can't remember any of them. So that's not very helpful. Um, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know the answer to
That's
that
all right,
one.
no worries. No worries. So what are you working on now? Because like Alice in Wonderland ends at the end of the month. So what's next for you?
Yeah, so currently just auditioning in that auditioning
Okay.
life. Nothing currently lined up. It'd be nice to have something in the diary soon, but yeah, just self-taping, auditioning during Alice to hopefully have something at the end of it.
Awesome. You do some voice work as well. So how have you found that? Because I mean, obviously being in the sound booth is different to when you're on stage and you can be a little bit more. I mean, the one thing that I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I think most of the world is K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix. I've been watching that, and
Oh,
they
but I don't know what it is.
sorry.
I don't know what it is, but I've seen it on Netflix.
Oh, okay. It's an animated action adventure film.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it's good. I had no knowledge of K-pop before watching it, but these songs are incredible and they have topped the charts like on Spotify playlists and stuff like that. And these are just fictional. They're just made up for the film. But they're extraordinary. And it's a good
voice work is really new for me and something I just suddenly went, I really want to do that. Another string to my bow. But being in the booth is really exciting because it's just you in there and you have a screen so you can see your sound engineer and whoever's in there, director, whatever. Um,
yeah.
but even though it's just your voice, you physicalize everything you're doing. So you do end up moving your body and as if you are on screen or stage to get the right voice placement or to create the right noise that you need. And I really love it, and I'm hoping that I can do more in that area because it's really fun.
Awesome. Has there been anything like recently that you've like said, yeah, I like it, that you're like targeting that you really want to get to do in terms of voice work.
I would love to at some point do some sort of animation. Um, I think that would be amazing. I'm also a big fan of video games. So to do a voice for a video game, I think that would be up there at the top of the list.
Absolutely. So where can we find you online to keep up with everything you're doing?
I'm on Instagram. It's my name, Charlotte Bradley, with an extra Y at the end. I don't know why. And I'm on what else am I on? I've come off Twitter, you know. It's too toxic there. I've had to come away. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Ever since Elon took over, it's just gone downhill. And
It's changed its name.
yeah, and people like loads of people are jumping to Blue Sky. I don't even know what that is.
I don't see them. I'm also on TikTok. I don't really post on there much, but I am on there around. I am Char C. Bradley. But yes, they're my main channels to find me.
Cool. All right. Well, good luck with the rest of the show, and everything else that you do. And this has been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today.
Thank you. You too. Thanks so much for chatting, Marc.
All right. Take care. Look after yourself.
See you later.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
There I was, in the middle of my own adventure. There ought to be a book written about me. When I grow up, I'll write one.
You show what you can do. I hear a siren. Maybe you were wrong about me. I'm dangerous and still. Why don't you give me a sign like the sea? Your problem is mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe. A London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.